At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season: the potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science backed support that puts you first. So, whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Woody Overton. And today we're going to be continuing hashtag Justice for Hailey. This is probably the next to last episode we're going to do before we ask for everyone's help. Before we get started, if they're not sold out already, y'all don't forget about the live show, me on stage, old school, original, raw and unscripted story at Southeastern Louisiana University in Hammond, Louisiana on July the 19th of 2025. And the tickets are on sale. The links in all our show notes. Southeastern, the university is handling the ticket sales for us. And it's going to be a great event. Get them general admission tickets. You know, they're going to have alcohol vendors and food ahead of time. And then I'll take the stage and do about a 2-hour show. And then if you do the VIP, there'll be a reception for that afterwards, right? And the first drink is on Woody. So that'll be fun. We're looking forward to it. Hadn't done one in a couple of years, and we already got lifers coming in from all over the United States thus far. Y'all, we have a room block at the Home 2 Suites in Hammond. It's a brand new hotel. It's a year old, and you tell them you're booking with Real Life, Real Crime. I think Cindy will post the code or whatever it is, but you can call them directly, tell them, or use whatever the code is, and you get $50 off your room. And they have it blocked out for several nights. So if you want to come in and enjoy Hammond, Louisiana, which is a fantastic town or city, I got a lot of history there. You want to come in, we're going to be there for a couple nights anyway. You want to come in and hang out and enjoy Hammond, then you can, I think it's like 4 nights blocked off, but you only have to choose the nights that you want to, right? So $50 off at the Home 2 Suites, brand new property, and it's minutes away from the venue. So that being said, hope to see you all there. Get your tickets while they last, and it's going to rock. Now, let's get down to Hailey. So thus far, you've heard pretty much everything, right? And including all the lies that Brooks has told since the very first contact law enforcement had with him, all the way through his sentencing hearing after he's convicted for moving her body and damaging, the police property, et cetera. And I think he got 11 years in prison, right? But they never tried him for the murder charge, y'all. Never presented it to the grand jury for murder because they're pathologists without having the correct knowledge. Anytime you send a body for an autopsy, the detective's always supposed to go with them, give them all the case facts, and that pathologist, when they're looking at the body, they'll take all those factors into account. Well, it didn't happen on Hailey's case. All he saw was shotgun in the mouth. Well, determined the shotgun was in the mouth and there was no injury to the back of her tongue. And in his experience, less than 1% of homicides occur with a barrel in the mouth without the damage to the back of the tongue. Well, they go back to him and they say, hey, here's all the information. And then he's like, well, you know what? That would have been helpful, right? So he changes his determination from suicide, which is what he said at first when he didn't have the knowledge, to undetermined. Okay. That's a huge win. And then you got to take all the other stuff, right? All this stuff that we've presented to you over all these weeks, all the different lies, all the different changing of stories, all the different witness testimonies, everything in totality, you put it all together. There's not a person who wouldn't find beyond a reasonable doubt that they would at least wouldn't indict him for murder. And that's what we're going for. I think that the prosecuting them did a great job. I know Miss Barbara and them won't agree with that. I think they did a great job as far as pressing the charges on him to get him in prison for something. And they're hoping that they get more information so they can indict one day, because murder charges never go away. Well, we're going to give you all the information. Maybe you don't have this piece, or you didn't know about this piece, or you didn't know about this piece. We're putting it all together for you on Real Life, Real Crime. And in the end, our hopes are when they're presented with everything that they will at least take it to the grand jury to try to get an indictment of murder. And look, if the grand jury doesn't return the indictment, which they are, which they would, but if they don't, then Miss Barbara is okay with that. She just wants them to try. And, you heard all the detectives say, you heard the prosecutor say, we know it was a homicide. We know it was homicide, but we can't go against our guy because he said less than 1%. And again, the less than 1% don't have the damage to the back of their tongue when the gun goes off in the mouth. Again, she was 0.25 or something, the blood alcohol volume. How do you not be passed out when that happens? But it's just a lot of stuff, putting it all together, and we're going to present it in the end. What I want to do today is tell you about when I went to Atlanta, Georgia to meet with the family, when I decided I was going to take on Hailey's case. And we met in a hotel and we recorded, and y'all heard some of those. Pretty powerful stuff, right? And they told me everything about Hailey, from how she liked to eat corn to whatever. And then they told me about the relationship and what had and hadn't happened and all that. Well, when they were leaving the hotel the one day, I told Miss Barbara, I said, look, why don't you go to the sheriff's office and just ask them to get the case file. Say, hey, it's already been adjudicated. Give me my daughter's case file. I'm moving to Florida. That's because they were going to ask her, right? I said, tell them that you're moving and you want her case file. I didn't think any fucking way they're going to give this case file to them, right? I just didn't believe they would do it. So I'm going to play you a couple of recordings. One is going to be an audio recording of them, Miss Barbara going in and asking, et cetera. And you can see the stone wall, and then they weren't going to do it and what have you. And then they told her to leave and they were going to make a decision or give it to supervisor, whatever it may be. And then ultimately they fucking called her back and they gave it to her. Miss Barbara, hats off to her and Stella and Tyler being in there pretty much demanding, they were like, why won't you give it to me? It's already been adjudicated and one of the things when they got some of Hailey's items back, they had, this is horrible, but they had, some of Hailey's hair and like skull fragments in it. And Miss Barbara told that supervisor that. You'll hear it in the thing. And this is something they already had, right? And he was like, well, I'm pretty sure they weren't supposed to give you that. But listen to it. And after that, I'm going to so you're going to hear the request, and they went back and they gave them everything.
How are you? Remember me? I was in some of those meetings.
I do.
What can we do for you today?
I need to get the evidence, things from the trial for this case. It was a public trial. The trial's over, and anybody in the world could have been in that trial and seen it, so I don't see why we can't get it now.
Okay. Well, there's a pending motion for new trial. Okay, so we're going to have to...
Okay, well...
That trial already happened.
The trial already happened. It was already public record. And
sure.
The police department gave me the pellets that came out of her head. They gave me the hair, all the evidence.
Her blood-soaked clothes, but we can't have pictures of what happened.
No, I think... I'm not sure if they should have released any of that stuff to you, to be honest. I think a lot of that was a mistake. But let me get with our appellate section and our open records people, because we have to sort through a lot of stuff, because some of it is work product, some of it is not. So we can get you a clean case file. I don't know if it could be today.
All I really need are copies of the pictures, and if I could get the body cam footage and the interrogation footage.
And why do you need it today?
We're moving. I want to get all this stuff straightened out. I can't keep waiting around for it, and I can't come back. And I don't, it's hard enough doing it in person. I definitely don't want to try to do it from another state.
Sure.
And it's my daughter's case. I need this
I
stuff.
hear you. I understand.
Do you say you have an attorney?
Yes, we're talking to an attorney.
Okay. So you haven't like retained them?
I haven't retained him yet, but no, we.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's our physical case file?
I don't know.
Right now. Okay. It might be with our appellate section right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. You want pictures and the body cam? The stuff from the trial itself?
Yes, all of
The
it.
pictures that were shown, the body cam footage, and the interrogation footage. I think we have the other stuff, like we have the 911 calls. We've got. But I mean, at some point, you know.
You got the 911 calls?
Mhm.
Do you know how you got that?
Our private detective.
Yeah. Which that was in the file I gave y'all from the private detective.
Yeah.
All right. Let me try to track down our. The problem is you came at lunchtime, so tracking people down right now is gone for a couple hours. So if you to wait around, I mean, even if I can track the file down and make copies. Do you want to come back at the end of the day? I can get you some stuff. I mean, or you could just wait around for
Come back when?
at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, what time? Like maybe 3, 4?
Yeah. Let's say 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And if we cannot release it to you, we will call you and say, look, I hear you, you know, and I understand what you guys are saying. But we have to follow our internal procedures and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I get it. And
You've already released actual evidence to me, not copies, but actual evidence for another trial.
No, I
so
understand.
I don't understand definitely why I
Right.
couldn't get copies of things that were shown in open court.
Right, and I think we should be able to do that for you. Okay, but I'm just saying, I'm speaking.
I do remember, I mean, as far as things that were used in court, I think I remember Elizabeth explaining to you that if, like, giving it to you, if it falls in, like, you could very well get a new trial. You know what I mean? So if those things are disseminated to the incorrect people, and that's our responsibility, it might ruin, you know, the motion.
So when
for
you're
your trial.
saying a new trial, what do you mean by that? For the same charge?
Right, so
Okay, well, Stephanie's already said she's not gonna, if he appeals, she's not gonna retry it, or if, you know.
Yeah, I thought she already said she wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
If he's granted a new trial, we would.
Well,
So how does-
So, all right. So, I'll walk through that. All right. So, if there is a new trial granted, if there's an appellate issue or something where the Court of Appeals or Supreme Court says, "Hey, judge, you messed up," or "Hey, you know, prosecutors, you messed up," or "Hey, defense attorneys, you were deficient and you messed up." So, any one of the three, there's potential issues from all sides, and a new trial is granted. It honestly won't be her decision; it'll be a district attorney's decision. So, I don't know. I don't know what she told you.
Right.
Okay. She may not feel comfortable trying it, but if the DA is like, no, our office is going to retry it, somebody else will try it. She's not the end all be all of those.
So I have a
decisions.
question. How does us having the stuff already shown in trial affect that?
I mean, there could.
It's not like
All
we're
right,
changing
because-
anything.
All right, because here's the thing. Anybody can go watch, right? But not everybody has a physical copy of it.
That's why no one
Okay.
can record or
You
take
can't
pictures.
record in a
or
trial. You
anything
can't
like
do any of that. So it's not like you could have came in and recorded everything. That's
There were
different.
actual.
But anybody could have
There
come
were
and saw that.
Sure, but not everybody has.
There were actual news stations there.
Sure, but they didn't record. You have to have a Rule 22. There's a bunch of different legal things that you have to do to be able to record a trial. the judge has to allow it. The judge did not allow it in this case, right?
There were reporters there. It was on the news.
Sure.
During sentencing, though, not during the trial.
Because we didn't get the news involved until then.
What I'm saying is anybody can't just go record something that you can go watch it, but you can't physically have copies of things outright. Just outright. Everybody can have a physical copy of everything.
So if we go to the new trial.
And I'm not saying we're not going to give it to you. I'm just saying.
I'm saying I have physical evidence that
Her blood-soaked clothes
to be admitted in a new trial. I have that because they just gave me that.
Right. Like I said, that's probably a mistake.
March is Sleep Awareness Month, the perfect time for you to think about the quality of your sleep and how the mattress you choose can make all the difference. Avocado Green Mattress is committed to providing mattresses that not only help you sleep better, but also are healthier for you and the planet. Did you know that with the right mattress, you can improve your sleep quality by up to 50%? If you're not waking up refreshed and ready to tackle the day, it might be time to consider Avocado and their sleep-enhancing design. Cindy and I love Avocado for so many reasons. Not only are the materials organic and free of chemical and toxins, Avocado mattresses promote better sleep through breathable, naturally temperature-regulated materials, which is so important to our sleep right now. Did I mention there is a mattress to fit your needs too? Avocado offers gentle to firm to plush mattress comfort and support. Take their quiz to find out which mattress and comfort option is right for you. Avocado stands by their products too. They offer easy financing options with Affirm, sleep trials up to 1 year, and options to try before you buy. Head to avocadomattress.com today and save up to 10% on certified organic mattresses. Dream of better. We all know I love me some tacos. They're great every night of the week, not just Taco Tuesday. But Cindy really wants me to eat healthier this year, and Factor chef-made gourmet meals have made eating well easy. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for my busy lifestyle. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goal. Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, Factor has it all figured out. My favorite meal has been the jalapeno sweet corn polenta and chicken. Imagine a whole chicken breast marinated in lemon juice, garlic, and smoked paprika, grilled until juicy and topped with a zesty salsa verde. It's served over a creamy Parmesan polenta loaded with diced jalapenos, corn, mozzarella, and scallions. Bell peppers, red onions, and cauliflower are served on the side with fajita spiced butter. It was delicious and nutritious. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use Factor Podcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code FACTORPODCAST at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
On their part, it is.
So how will that affect a new trial?
I don't know.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know what you asked for the police. I don't know what they gave you other than.
All we wanted was the phones and my computer back.
Sure.
And they gave us all the evidence.
Right.
So.
And they probably shouldn't have done that.
Okay.
But that's a different agency. We don't run the police department. That is them. And if they mistakenly release that, then they can deal with their own potential legal issues with that.
Yeah, but I'm just.
we have her chunks of hair that fell out of her head.
No, I heard what they released, and I was pretty upset with what they released to y'all. But I can't control a separate agency's thing.
Can I ask you, what is your goal in getting this?
Because it's her daughter's case.
It's her
You
case.
just want to have it to have it.
If
I'm just trying to figure it out.
if this doesn't go anywhere, eventually, once we get settled somewhere else, I'll go somewhere else. I'll go to somebody else. I'll go to another private detective or another one. Eventually, I want him in prison for murder.
So
this is just a case to you guys, but this is...
So that's not how that works. The only jurisdiction that can do that is Cobb County, since it occurred in Cobb County. You can't go to Florida and have somebody else prosecute it. You can't go somewhere else.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when I get to Florida, I can have a private detective here investigate her case, or I can have,
But the district attorney is the only person that can bring a case, a criminal case. You could do whatever you want civilly. It has nothing to do with our office.
But if somebody will investigate her case,
there's things called double jeopardy. Okay, so once this case is done, let's say nothing happens.
Right.
Right,
This is not a murder charge.
Let's say, what's that?
This is not a murder charge.
Doesn't matter. Double jeopardy attaches to everything. Okay, so another DA can't just come in and bring new charges for this same case.
So they can't get a murder charge for him after this?
Maybe, maybe not.
That's hopeful. Well, that's not what I've been told, so.
There's going to be legal challenges if we get a conviction on it, right, and a murder charge is not brought within the same action. They may be able to do that. I have not delved into that. That's a separate issue. But what I'm saying is, there are protocols that we have to follow, internal procedures that we have to follow. Okay, I understand what you're saying, and if you've made an open records request, we're going to follow those protocols. I understand that you guys are not going to give up. I'm not mad at you for that. I completely understand, and I feel for all of you guys, all y'all involved in this. I 100% agree. As a family member, I would be doing the same thing. I'd be beating down doors trying to get justice. All I'm saying is I can only follow the procedures that are in place here within our office. I'm not saying you're not going to get what you guys want. I'm just saying, as you sit here right now, I can't just go grab it and give it to you. It's going to take me time to sort through it. I got to see who you've tried talking to and go up the chain and figure out, who authorized this, who authorized that, and then I can make a decision. And then above me, there's only a couple other people that could kind of overturn that internal procedure, the DA and a chief. So let me work on that. But what I'm saying is that right this moment, we can't.
So Danielle, the admin that used to deal with open records, Amelia Prey is her boss. So she's like the head of open records. She said that if we can get your attorney's information, have your attorney reach out to Amelia, because that attorney has more options because he can do the proper legal things to get as opposed
This is
to
ridiculous. I'm on disability, so now I have to hire this attorney, and he just consulted with me for free.
Let me. All right.
Okay.
I'm above all of that.
Okay.
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 I'm above Amelia. I'm above all of them. Let me talk to all of them, and figure out what's going on, what she's basing it on, and then see what we can get for you. Okay. If I give you an answer that you don't agree with, you can set a meeting with the DA because there's only one of our chiefs, and those two can overturn something that I make a decision on.
Okay.
Okay. So let me work on that.
All right.
Give us till 4:00. I'll give you guys an answer, but I don't want you guys sitting around all day waiting for something that you might not get.
We live 10 minutes from here,
We're
so.
going to make things for Stella today, but we just wanted to get this done.
No, and I appreciate everything. Honestly, I appreciate everything y'all are doing. Okay, I don't want you to misconstrue me saying no as not trying to help get you what y'all need. I really want y'all to understand that. Okay.
All right.
And I know that a lot of people are giving you a lot of different answers, and I understand frustration with that.
Yeah, and I'm not happy with the investigation that was done. And so,
I understand.
If, in the future, we have to get moved first. But in the future, if this doesn't come to a murder charge at some point, I do want to have whatever I have to do to get one.
I get it, and just know the only person that could bring it is, this office, right?
Right.
And whatever DA is here, and
But certainly
under
if
some
you
legal
got
standards.
A reasonable investigation and got the information needed to do a murder charge, surely they would bring it. I would think, I would hope.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yes. If there was evidence there, yes.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. So I guess we'll see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all for coming. Let me work on that, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
All right, so you just heard it. Now, they've got the whole kid and caboodle, and that's what we've been playing for y'all through all these weeks is a lot of it was excerpts from the case file. But it's the police recordings, it's the interrogations, if you will. It's Brooks's manner and all the lies and the jailhouse recordings and everything else. That's because Miss Barbara is the mama who won't give up, and she went in there, and by God, by the grace of God, we got it, and we got it to use it. And you've got to hear it all over the past couple months, right? So, one of the things I told Miss Barbara to do, and Georgia is a one consent state party, that I told her when I went to Atlanta, I said, from now on, record everything. Record every phone conversation you have with them, asking for updates and all that stuff. And well, she did it. And I'm about to play you some more recordings, but specifically, Miss Barbara's not pleased with their victim's advocate, was what I call them. And that lady was on the video and on the recording where she's asking for the case file, and she's pretty much like, you're not getting it. And then got the supervisor, and ultimately they ended up getting it. But one of the things your victim's advocate is supposed to do is notify you anytime there's any kind of court hearing coming up, against the offender who offended against your family member, right? Obviously they can't notify Hailey. She's dead. She's been murdered. But they're supposed to do that. And guess what? It wasn't being done. And so Miss Barbara finds out about a hearing that's coming up where Brooks is going to court, and she calls the lady out on it. And the lady is pretty flippant towards her. It's pretty crazy the way that she responds. Like, well, I'm busy and da-da-da-da and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to play it for you so you can hear her excuses and you understand why Miss Barbara has no love for that particular division or the supposed victim's advocate. They're supposed to be given surviving members of the victim's family, right? So I'm going to play that for you now. So listen to this.
Okay, it is January the 14th, Tuesday at 3:18 p.m. I'm calling Cindy Bard, our victim's advocate.
Barbara.
Hey, Sandy, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm a little confused. I talked to you yesterday, and you had said that the transcripts weren't ready, but yet it says on their site that they are.
So maybe at this upcoming hearing on the 14th, their announcement is going to be that the transcripts are ready. Like I said, this judge doesn't drag his feet when it comes to pushing his court reporters. It might be that
it says they
might be that they are ready.
It says that there was a hearing in December, and that Stephanie. It looks like Stephanie was present for that.
No, there wasn't a hearing.
It's.
I wasn't aware of a hearing in December.
Okay, it says December the 31st, and it said appearances for the state, Stephanie Green and Jared Horowitz, and then for the defendant, Bill Graham.
So December 31st was New Year's Eve. There was definitely not a hearing.
Well, I mean, that's just when the stamp says it. I guess it was filed. I don't know.
No, I know our team has not appeals might have been there. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Let me look into it. I was not aware of any hearing. But let me look into it.
And then it also has something that was filed on January the 9th that says transcript preparation was completed by October of 2024.
Okay, so let me look into, like I said, I was not aware of any hearing in December. I don't know why, but let me look into what that announcement was in December, and I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, and can you please find out about the transcripts, because, I mean, I don't know why it says they were done in October, but...
Yep, I'll find out.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
It's January the 14th at 3:48, and I'm calling Cindy back. She just called.
Hey, Barbara.
Hey.
So, after speaking with the appeal attorney, I know that the hearing that is scheduled on February 14th is the hearing for the motion for new trial. So I asked the attorney if the judge would allow a Zoom link so you guys could be present at that. And she's pretty confident that the judge will allow for that. So as soon as I get a Zoom link, I'll send it to you so you guys could be present for that.
Okay, so the transcripts have been ready, and...
Yep, so there was only one status. I did see that. There was one status in between this and setting the date, which is the fastest I've ever seen. So that was really unique. But yeah, so the transcripts are ready. So on February the 14th, the appellate defense attorney will argue that either the
you can see where this would be very frustrating, though. Like, I mean, I have to call y'all and find out things, and nobody knows what's going on, and it's very frustrating. And I'm very concerned that we'll miss things because nobody will even tell us what's going on.
I mean, I hear you, and I understand your frustration, but if you could maybe give us a little credit that I answered your phone call yesterday, and I answered your phone call today. I'm not leaving you hanging, and I'm getting your questions answered. I do understand your frustration, but I can only notify of what I know, and if I don't know, I can't tell you.
But I mean, isn't that a problem?
In all honesty, we got new administration. The head of appeals is no longer with our office, so that's why I give victims my cell phone number. So when you have a question, please always call and ask. And I mean, I've been trying to answer everyone. I'm not trying to leave anyone hanging. But if I don't know about something, I can't notify about it.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Shouldn't you know about it? Is what, like, who do we need to keep in contact with to know about it then? Like, that's what I'm saying. If I wouldn't have called on a random, just because I hadn't heard anything lately, then we wouldn't even know about this hearing.
You would have known. You found out, before I knew about it. I mean, because you're a good mom and you're fighting for your daughter. You would have known about the motion for new trial hearing, but the fact that you're so diligent about it, yeah, I mean, you found out before I did. I would have eventually known, like I said, that previous status, when it's labeled just the status, it is literally just figuring out if the transcripts are ready, and I'm assuming at that hearing, they decided that the transcripts are ready, so...
I know it's just frustrating because it says the transcripts were ready in October, and I asked for a copy of the transcripts whenever they were ready, and was told that when they're ready, somebody will let me know so I can get a copy of the transcripts. But that was back in October. So anyway,
I'll send you the copy of the transcripts. There is no notification process. No one would have ever notified me that the transcripts are ready. Once the transcripts are ready, they're uploaded to the clerk's office, and when they're available there, I can definitely get them to the victims. But there is no mechanism of anyone notifying me when transcripts are ready. I have zero idea, and there's no mechanism to allow for that.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I want to play one more, and there's a video of this also that'll be put up for Patreon and convicts. And look, y'all have gotten everything, all of the videos and all the stuff that wasn't edited. And if you want to be a patron or a convict, you can go to patreon.com, type in Real Life, Real Crime, or go to the App Store and download the Real Life, Real Crime community app for free and subscribe, become a convict in there and get access to these videos and all of the things, and, everything, crime scene photos. I didn't put in any autopsy photos because this case is bad enough. I didn't put any, some of the photos are pretty bad. There's no doubt about that. The blood on the walls and the brain and stuff like that. But there's nothing nice about a murder. Okay. But I wasn't trying to sensationalize it. I wanted you to be able to see what I was talking about, what regular lifers just get to hear. Patreon and convicts got to see all the photographs and audios and videos and everything else. But those are put up. But this one, Miss Barbara told me that she had a sweatshirt covered in blood, if you will, and bodily fluids, and that she had put it in a plastic bag. And I told her, I said, Miss Barbara, you got to take it out of the plastic bag and put it in a paper bag to preserve it. Maybe the DA is going to want it later on. I don't know. But the reason you don't put blood-soaked items in a plastic bag and seal it up is because they rot. They're like mildew and mold and stuff. Whereas the brown paper bags, which we use for evidence, paper bags are porous. I guess they get a certain amount of air, and the stuff doesn't degrade like it does when it's surrounded in plastic. Now, this next video, Patreon convicts, you'll get the video. The rest of you are going to hear the audio. It's pretty short. It is Tyler taking the item out of the plastic and putting it in the paper. And I'm going to edit y'all. This is kind of hard to hear, and you can only imagine, but I'm going to play it for you now. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay, we're taking the stuff out of the evidence box. We had already put the stuff in plastic bags, but didn't know that Woody said they don't need to go in plastic, they need to go in paper. So
we're moving them to paper bags now. Yeah. So we have opened this box once before.
Mainly the sweatshirt.
This is what the front of the box says. It's a list of what all was in it.
Yeah. So there's that. Okay.
Do you know what this was?
I think that's the sweatshirt, I believe.
Oh, is it wrapped in something? Or
yeah, it's wrapped in pads. So. What?
The smell.
I know.
Do I take it out of this or just leave it in the pads? Or you want to show?
Take it out. Yeah, take it out. Well, we'll just put it in the plastic. I mean, in the paper bag.
Have you seen this before?
Mm-hmm. Okay, leave it right there.
Zoom in or take pictures.
Yeah, you can see there's stuff all over it.
So, and she wasn't wearing this.
No.
This was found in the apartment.
Okay, yeah.
So I lift it up and...
Yeah.
Gracie, go.
Gracie, please go.
Gracie, go! Go, please.
Gracie, go.
Some of her hair's on it.
You can see, though, it's covered in blood. I know. Okay.
Should I open up the rest of it?
It's fine. Like, they just need to see how bad it was.
So this wasn't, I mean, there's parts of her brain on this. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. You just heard it. I mean, when they go to open the bag, there was obviously a horrible stench. There's still, I hate to say it, but I mean, it wasn't Brooks's matter that's contaminated this item, if you will. It's Hailey's bone and blood and brains. And it's hard to hear, but murder is hard. And I don't know what else to say about it. But can you believe they gave this all to him? I mean, you give them blood-soaked evidence? Don't you think? I mean, how many times did Brooks say, I changed my sweatshirt? Or then he changed it to, I went in the room to change my pants and I came out and found her. First of all, I think it was a sweatshirt and I came out and found her. And I went in and then he just changed it later on. I went in and changed my pants and I came out and found her. Well, he's fucking lying. He went in and changed everything, I would imagine, because when you shoot someone in the mouth with a shotgun, you're going to get blowback on you, right? And the fact that they never ID'd Brooks wearing this item of clothing, don't you think it would have been huge if they could say, oh my God, yeah, that's the neighbor that saw him outside. So, oh my God, yeah, that's the sweatshirt that he had on. Or the apartment manager. Yeah, that's the sweatshirt he had on when I saw him and it was clean. Or the people in the restaurant when he got thrown out of. Oh yeah, he was definitely wearing that, right? Cause look, it was cold as fuck. I mean, you heard him talk about the pipes were bursting and stuff like that in an apartment complex. I mean, when they took him into custody and on the scene, he was in a short sleeve champion, basically a t-shirt almost, right? You're not wearing that when you're sitting outside on the steps for however long and the neighbor Buck talks to you and you're not outside in 20-degree weather wearing a t-shirt. But after, and then when the one neighbor hears the boom and it's 10, 15, 20 minutes and there's nothing. And then Brooks is running around the complex, banging on doors, asking for help. My girlfriend had a stroke and he gets the one guy. You've heard it all. We just re-released it last Sunday. So you would hear it again because we're coming to the end of this battle. Well, maybe not the end, but we're coming to the end of the storytelling part. And I don't know, man. I mean, how does the family end up with the bloody clothing that has hair or bone fragments on it or whatever? And I mean, it's not in evidence. You know what I mean? That that's fucked up. It's scorched. And I don't understand it, but maybe it's not too late. maybe when we list out everything in order and Miss Barbara presents it to y'all to present to them, maybe they can still find the people who were working at the restaurant and they can say, yeah, he was wearing that sweatshirt, right? Why would this blood-soaked, bone, hair-filled item of clothing be just stashed away and never used against him? I mean, that would prove that he changed clothes after he shot her, and he changed into the short sleeve t-shirt. And man, it's just fucked up. And it's just bad, but we're going to put it all together. It's important that y'all keep liking and sharing. We'll drop another episode. I'm not sure which one I'm going to play yet. Probably one of his lies or what have you on this Sunday, just to keep it fresh. So we get new listeners every day, and I want them to be able to find it easy. And then they'll listen to that one and be like, holy shit, I'm going to need to go listen to the rest of it. Right. And we're getting that every day. This case is growing, and we need the numbers because, everybody has to answer to somebody, and you have nothing to lose by presenting new facts or all the facts together that you didn't have. This detective didn't take the sweatshirt, or this investigator didn't find out that he was wearing this, or, why did he go downstairs, to get someone to call 911 when he's told you all day long that they've been on their phones watching videos, right? Because their cable was out or whatever. I don't know. It's a lot, and it's going to be a lot to put together on the end. We've been working on it, and Miss Barbara and Stella and Tyler have been giving me the list of things. And of course I have it all in my head, but we're going to put it together. I believe next week's episode, I'm going to have the family on, and we'll start to put it together. Probably take 1 or 2 episodes, and then we're going to wrap it up and give it back to the powers that be. And by God, sometimes you just got to bring some pressure. Not because, I don't hate these people. I'm not mad at them. I know sometimes things fall through the cracks, right? And I know sometimes investigations get messed up. I understand that. I do not think there is any criminal intent like some of the past cases that we work where people just fucking lied. And I just think that maybe they bit off more than they could chew, or they didn't have the totality of the circumstances to put together like we've been able to do through all this. Okay. And I don't know. It would be such a great, great day. And the one, I've said it all along, the one great thing they didn't do was charge him with murder yet. And they were waiting on, they said, hey, the murder charges never go away, and they're correct. And they were waiting for something to fall in their lap. Well, if what we give them isn't something falling in your lap, if you can't glean that together, then I don't know what to tell you. If you can't put that together to present it before a grand jury, then it is what it is. I understand you don't want to lose. I understand you don't want to go against your pathologist, but put 12 people, tell them the story in full like we have presented it, and let them make their decision. If they say no, so be it. But I can tell you one thing. There's not a person that I know, not a lifer that's listening to this that knows exactly what they said. The cops and the DA said, this is a homicide. That's what a reasonable person can deduce from the facts in this case. It's the only logical outcome. Now, they can what if themselves to death because I know they don't want to lose. I don't know they want to. And the one thing the guy said about, if we take it to the grand jury and they say no, it's done. That's not true. The grand jury just tells you they need more evidence, and they no bill it. We're not indicting at this time. The murder charge never goes away. Now, if you take it to trial and you lose it, then you're done. It's double jeopardy. And that's okay. Miss Barbara's not asking for anything other than Hailey be given a fair shot at justice. I'm asking the same thing. I believe that all of you, after listening to all of this, are asking for the same thing also, which is hashtag justice for Hailey. Please continue to share it. And it's coming to a conclusion really soon. So I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much for sharing Hailey's story and all the comments and the support, and just really appreciate y'all. And I don't know, I believe in justice too much. I just believe in my heart that this could be done, but nothing comes easy, right? You got to fight for it. And that's it. So I'm Woody Overton, your host of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And until next time or ever, don't let me catch you down on Murder Bayou. Peace.